What kinds of things do you write in your diaries? Thoughts? Feelings? Things that happen during the day? Well, George's diaries don't show us a lot about his personal life, but they do tell us what he did every day on his farm. And he recorded everything, from the temperature to how hard the ground was, even what color his cows were.
Went to my neck plantation and completed the account of my stock there, except that of the hogs, which stand thus.
If George was so careful about his records, then why wouldn't he have more information about his hogs? Unlike these Ossabaw Island hogs, George let his hogs run free in the forest for much of the year, and that's why he couldn't count them. Even though he probably saved a lot of money this way, sometimes the hogs could be trouble. Once they got in the way of one of George's favorite sports, hunting foxes with his dogs.
After an early breakfast, George Washington, Mr. Shaw, and myself went into the woods back of Muddy Hole Plantation a-hunting, and were joined by Mr. Lund Washington and Mr. William Peake. About half after 10 o'clock, being first plagued with the dogs running hogs, we found a fox.
Unfortunately, George sometimes had worse problems. Hogs and even sheep were easy to steal.
I have a tenant, one Edward Williams, who I want to punish, because I believe him to be a bad man. He pulls down my fences, which are good. My stock go out and get into his fields, which have not lawful fences. One hog of near 200 weight his people were caught in the act of killing.
But all of this trouble taking care of them was worth it because hogs were a major food source. In the fall, the hogs would be collected and fattened up. Ever the experimenter, George tried various types of food for them, like when he planted an acre of Jerusalem artichoke seeds he got as a gift.
It affords me the highest satisfaction to have it in my power to oblige you by sending of you 5 bushels of Jerusalem artichoke. I should have been able to have spared you a large quantity, but I have sent you the better half. I find that there is nothing we can raise so cheap that hogs are fonder of.
Once the hogs had been slaughtered for food, George went to town recording the precise numbers of hogs he had and just how many pounds of meat they gave him. Maybe he was just happy that he finally got to write down something besides couldn't account for the hogs.
Leaving for family use 15,075 pounds, which with 4 hogs killed for early bacon, make in all 15,885 pounds, laid up for the consumption of my table, use of my people, and the poor who are distressed for it.
Almost 16,000 pounds. That's a lot of bacon. But all that fattening up wasn't just about giving the hogs good food. Genetics mattered too. Once, George's friend Gouverneur Morris was gloomy because he couldn't send George very fat hogs.
I promised you some Chinese pigs, a promise which I can perform only by halves, for my boar, being much addicted to gallantry, hung himself in pursuit of mere common sows, and his consort, to assuage her melancholy, for what alas can helpless widows do, took up with a paramour of vulgar race, and thus her grunting progeny have jowls and bellies less big by half than their dam.
George got some pretty awesome gifts from all over the world. Plants, seeds, animals, books. He even got a present from the King of Spain himself. What was this royal gift? I guess we'll just have to find out next time.